Welcome to the channel. Today I have a video. The mom tried to block the dad's parenting rights and the judge didn't really take it seriously. Lightly, I mean. Without further ado, let's jump to the video.
This matter involves Jennifer Widler and Adam A. Smith. It is case number 2021 DM 513. Sarah Safar appears as counsel for Adam Smith. Adam Smith appears separately from his lawyer by Zoom. Jennifer Widler appears by Zoom as well. This matter comes before the court at this time for hearing in regards to a motion that was filed by the father in this case to set a specific parenting time schedule. Is there any contested matter here, Ms. Widler?
Yes, I was not served. I didn't hear anything about this until Saturday when I received a screenshot from somebody who received it from another person of Adam's Facebook post about there being a court hearing. I need legal counsel. I've had zero time to be able to get legal representation. I have a lot of information about Landon's medical, of his special needs, and I need to be able to bring in his medical professionals and a lot of information that I cannot give without it being considered hearsay.
All right. Ms. Widler, do you live at 925 Southeast River Road, apartment 1402?
No.
Okay. Did you disclose a new address to Adam?
I have not had contact with Adam since July because I am in complete fear of him because he keeps assaulting me. I'm sorry, sir, because of things that he keeps doing to me.
Okay. Adam, adjust your camera. I want to see you.
Yes, sir.
Okay. That's better. Okay. The court will set another hearing in this case. However, I do wish to address the possibility of interim relief here. This court had entered an order back in October to establish parenting time.
I was not aware of that information. I have not had any information since September.
But you've never attacked the order that this court entered. Joint legal custody.
I didn't get that, sir.
But there was not a specific parenting time schedule at that time. I think it was expected that the parties would work it out. There's no longer any restraining orders of any kind existing between you two. There's no reason you can't have some communication.
I am in fear of him.
Well, you've got a child together, and that's the reality. So at least
and that's why
regarding child-related contact, if you just either use an app like Our Family Wizard or use text messaging or email where there's a record of what's being said and how it's said, Adam, I would expect you not to ever act up.
He can't.
Been through enough with this. I think you know the rules by now.
And I have been in works with Landon's therapist and case manager through South Central on his special needs. He's actually been diagnosed with a rare genetic medical condition, a rare genetic disorder that we're trying to get understanding on because there's not a lot of information on, and that's something that I'm wanting to get submitted. Ooh, sorry. We're still trying to get a lot of understanding on it. I don't even know what they're trying to propose. We're just not me personally, but his case manager and therapist, we're just now getting everything situated with Landon's anxiety. He's been going.
What creates that anxiety, Ms. Widler?
This is from when he was with his going over there. This is information that I need to get from his therapist and his case manager and his school teacher. I can't.
I guess, Ms. Widler, here's what I don't understand.
I'm asking for a continuance.
Filed in this case that would give this court some reason to create limitations on the access of a father to his child.
This is why I need a continuance, sir. I didn't get the information from October. What information are you talking about?
Well, Okay, I'll just make the observation here, though, Ms. Whittler, that when you don't communicate with the father to let him know where you live, how
And
do
that
you
was
expect
when
to
the
get notice
and that
of
was when the
things that he's
PFA
wanting
was
to
in
initiate?
place.
Excuse me?
That was when the PFA was in place, was in October.
All right, Ms. Safar, you've heard the request that Jennifer has made. You take a position here.
Your Honor, we are simply trying to get a parenting plan established that returns to what my client had prior to the protection order going in place. Now, I think there were some issues around the protection order itself, and my client not understanding entirely what that meant, but in reviewing the order from that, she filed it, and it didn't include the minor child as part of that. I mean, the order didn't. So my client has been seeking for some time now, since August of last year, has been seeking to be able to get back the parenting time that he had while mother was working. Essentially, she would work at DoorDash, that sort of thing, daily. My client does not work, and he was the one providing care for the child daily while she was gone, and that's simply what he's asking to have put back. He has not been made aware of any of these concerns regarding the child's physical health, anxiety, anything like that. And I believe, although I not with my client, that he would take issue to him being the cause of any of the anxiety when he hasn't been able to see his child in a very, very long time. So we're just asking that he be able to have
And
contact with the child again. And
Okay,
this is
just a moment, just a minute, Jennifer. Let's Ms. Safar finish. Go ahead.
we're just asking that he be able to have contact with his child again in the way that he was able to prior. I will also point out that my client and his parents are essentially, I mean, they live together. There's As far as the minor child, I believe that there was contact between paternal grandmother and child, that there has been, and so, I mean, these are not unsafe people. Essentially, I mean, I don't believe that my client needs anything to be supervised, but his parents are there. So, that's an option at every point, for him to be able to have that. So I'm just requesting that my client have that daytime time with the child. Our proposed parenting plan basically kept everything in terms of the joint legal custody, which the court already ordered, place, and is simply saying that my client would have the child from noon to 7 while the petitioner is working, and any other parenting time that can be agreed upon. I think this issue of not having any contact is one that needs to be addressed. Although it's not in our motion, the use of a parenting app like Our Family Wizard, or a similar app, I think would be appropriate to assuage any of mother's concerns regarding that. But there's really, honestly, in this case, not even any reason that the parties need to have a whole lot of contact with each other, with my client's parents being the go-betweens.
How would the exchanges on this daily basis work, Ms. Safar? They don't get along very well, so.
Well, and that's the way it used to work before, is that they would, a mother would drop the child off, and that doesn't necessarily have to be how it's done now. I think there would be times where my client's parents could meet up with her. Again, I will point out, I was just made aware of a Facebook post that mother made on, looks like it was Friday, May 3rd. Yeah, May 3rd, Saturday. And she's addressing my client's mother in that post. And so, there's a lot of, I think that there's room, hopefully, for there to be contact, and that we can get something set up. I wasn't I hadn't made any contact. Mother has not reached out to me at all, so I hadn't been able to speak to her about logistics. But I do believe that my client's parents are ready and willing to be able to assist in those exchanges as needed. If they need to be in a neutral location, that would be fine. You know, that we can be flexible with that.
Yeah, may I
Now,
speak?
just a moment, just a moment. The question I have, Ms. Safar, isn't this child in school right now? He should be at least kindergarten.
Preschool.
He's in a pre-K, like a pre-K childcare type program.
Doesn't he turn 6 this year?
No, well, in December.
Okay.
And I'm trying to get him in a specialized kindergarten, and that's why I would like to speak.
Okay. All right, Ms. Whittler?
Okay, so the proposed parenting plan, well, so the Facebook post, I have been in works, and this is what I was trying to get at, is I've been in works with his therapist and who is specialized in autism and his other needs of ADHD, and his rare genetic condition is why he has autism, and his other needs, which has also could lead into other problems of epilepsy and heart conditions, which I have been getting him to a geneticist and a cardiologist. And I'm sorry, my head is going all different. I have lots of notes. If you want to know any information, I can give you any information, which is why I was wanting to have an educational meeting with Adam's mother. So that way that she can.
Adam, but not with Adam?
If Adam is willing to be civil and not do what he's done to me, I will talk to his therapist and see if we can have a one-on-one with his therapist and all that.
For the record, Your Honor, I have been laid up with an injury. I broke my leg in July. I had surgery. I'm not just now getting back to walking. I drive between two houses. I mow my yards and I come home. I've had no contact with her whatsoever. I am doing my own thing. I'm healing from the surgery that I had and everything else.
Then why'd you try to chase me in September?
Can you handle time with this little boy?
I can. I love that little boy.
And no, I do not do DoorDash anymore. I actually spend every waking moment with my son, except for when he's at school. He doesn't leave my side. I am a personal shopper while he's at school. I was the reason why that I was wanting to have the educational meeting with Carol is because she has previous medical education from the past. So I thought that with her, it may be more beneficial. And that way she could also talk with the therapist, and because the therapist is more closer to Carol's age range, and I feel like maybe she would be more open to talking with her. And
Right. When is this child in school, preschool? What are the hours?
Monday through Thursday, 12 or when school starts at 8 a.m. until 11:15 when I pick him up. And I'm sorry, the proposed parenting plan gives me 0 time with my son. Basically, the only time I get would be in when he's asleep. And that just is, yeah. Like I said, he's always with me. And the only reason why I moved is because the apartment complex refused to renew my lease. So I was given no option. It wasn't any other reason but that. And I'm still in El Dorado. I've been diligently working to keep Landon in the program that he's in. He is flourishing very well. Not transitioning to multiple places in one day has been very beneficial on his part with his issues. And he actually loves going to school now. He is very social. His social anxiety has gone down tremendously. He has buddies to the point to where he's excited. Um, I'm I've been getting him to every single appointment that he has. I take him to, I'm actually looking at my date book right here. Get him to all of his appointments. I, Adam has in the past has never really wanted to go to any of his appointments, and which is part of why I guess that's part of why I didn't extend it out to him, because the last time that he did take Landon to a case manager appointment, it didn't go very well. So I guess maybe that's why. Landon does have he has some case manager appointments coming up, and then he does have my brain is going too fast. He does have an MRI on the 14th in Wichita, and the reason for the MRI is for a brain mapping, so that way they have it for future. And another reason why I've been wanting to speak with them about this is because it is a genetic condition, and I don't know if Adam's insurance would even cover it, or it's not my place. But like I said, it can cause epilepsy, it can cause heart problems. I have the papers right here. But it's called the K, M as in Mary, T as in Tom, the number 2, the letter E like elephant, related neurodevelopmental disorder. It's autosomal dominant, and the second writing of this is abnormal in Landon. It did not come from me, and it may or may not have come from Adam. I do not know. It could have just been mine and Adam's genetics forming together that caused this. It's nothing. It's nothing that is like the reason why that I have taken it, that he's going to the neurologist.
I'm going to stop you here. How many appointments does he have over the course of the next month? You say he has a number of appointments with providers, but I'm not sure what we're talking about here.
He has his MRI. His MRI. He has to go to the anesthesize, and then he has the case manager. He has 3, and then his therapist. He has at least 1. June. I'm sorry. And then June, he has his developmental pediatrician on June 4th. And then he has his neurologist on the 16th of this month. And I have in the past have offered for Adam's mom to go with me to appointments, but she has not taken me up on the opportunity. Because I have been taking him to specialists his entire life because of being a premature baby.
This court is of the belief that it's necessary to go ahead and get a father-child relationship reestablished now rather than later. And while I understand that Ms. Whittler may have some additional information to present that might affect a long-term parenting plan schedule. The court does not believe that there's going to be an actual danger to this child or interference with this child's welfare and progress if we get the dad back on a schedule. The court will establish a temporary schedule in this case where the father will have parenting time Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays from noon to 5:00 p.m. This is a limited time frame.
And
Mr. Smith,
I have
noon
his
to 5,
case manager.
and I will require the mother to do both drop off and pick up, since she has been reticent to actually share her actual address.
I have Tuesday's appointments.
Well, and I'm going to address that, Ms. Whittler. Mr. Smith, when he has a scheduled appointment, and I want from now on all appointments made by the mother on days that are not the father's, he has very limited time. While I have no problem with him being involved in this child's appointments, it does limit his actual interaction time with his child, and I want to keep that at a minimum. So if there's a standing appointment at this point, Mr. Smith, I'll expect you to either get him to that appointment or relinquish your parenting period for that day to let Jennifer take care of it. I'm not going to hold it against you if he's got some sort of appointment in Wichita that's going to take up all your time anyway, and you just simply say, Jennifer, you can just go ahead and take him today. I'm not going to hold that against you, as long as that doesn't become some sort of regular thing you're doing to avoid father and child time. But Tuesday, Thursday, Saturdays, noon to 5, that's your time primarily. The court's going to grant you full access to any of his mental health or any of his medical records. I want that in the order, Ms. Farr. I want to make it sure that any medical provider knows that he has court-ordered access to any information necessary. He can attend appointments. He can get information. He needs to understand anything that's going on with his child.
Can I make one request? And
What's
it's
that
not
request, Ms. Whittler?
that Mr. Smith and his parents understand not to use that. Okay, so
Use what? I'm sorry.
with his disorder, with Landon's disorder, he has defiance and behavioral issues. So any type of elevation in the voice or physical is it's not useful disciplinary, and I can get his therapist and his case manager with that. And that was part of the educational stuff that I was wanting to do with reintegration. That's all. I'm not trying to be like, this is how we parent. That's something that I've actually started working on with his who's been educating me. This is because we're working on an autism diagnosis. He's a high functioning. They used to call it Asperger's. And so when he gets into his tantrums, if you raise your voice to yelling or try to restrain him or corporal punishment, then he gets more defiant.
Okay. I raised 5 myself, Ms. Whittler, and it's just hard for me to imagine a scenario where you can't raise your voice or use any type of physical discipline.
I understand. I really do.
That's all. It's just,
I really
there are
understand.
techniques that can be used. Maybe you can share those with Mr. Smith.
That's why I wanted to get them into talking with his therapist and case manager before just throwing him back into with them.
Ms. Whittler, you're going to either need to send Mr. Smith your email address.
He has it already.
Number. He already has it?
The emails. He knows all my emails.
Adam, is that right? Do you?
I don't know if I still have them or not because of the whole situation that took place with the PFA. So,
Your Honor, I would just ask that she share that with me. I mean, I could, if I could have her contact information. I recognize she's not wanting to share her address. If she could, I don't know how else I'm supposed to serve her with anything if we file anything. So if she could provide that to me.
All right. Do you know how to get a hold of Sarah?
I haven't gotten anything.
I can give you a phone number.
Give me 1 second.
So I'm going to order you
Oh.
to today provide your email address to Sarah Safar today by calling the office number, which I trust somebody will be there to answer at all times, Ms. Safar?
Yes, yeah.
All right. It's 316-264-5664.
I just asked that any pickup not or be at a public location with either his mom or dad along with
He
him.
can be there. I think it's a good idea, Adam, if you bring one of your parents along.
That's already been.
What neutral area are you suggesting here?
Well, the thing is that my parents can go. My mom and dad can go pick him up. That's not an issue. Like I said, I've been laid up with after surgery. I'm learning to walk again. Still have a little bit of a limp.
I'm just saying you can be there, Adam.
Oh yeah, I can be there.
Can be.
I can do whatever he wants to do.
Okay. So what exchange point are you suggesting here, Jennifer? If you don't want it at his house,
I've just had bad experiences dropping him off there, so that's why I'm suggesting it.
Why don't we just meet up at the donut shop? There's new owners and there's cameras up there.
what are you talking about here, Adam?
There's a new donut shop going in here in El Dorado.
A donut shop?
Yeah, a new one. They're actually getting ready to open tomorrow.
Okay.
I thought it was today,
Interesting choice of location.
but I would rather not.
Is like a convenience store. The only downside to that is there are busy parking lots when you involve a child going from car to car. But it's just somewhere that's lighted and open and people are around. So if there's no accusations here about improper behavior.
What about Dylan's?
We can do that. That's fine. Or we can go up here to the American Legion parking lot.
I prefer Dylan's.
That's fine.
The Dillons on North Main and El Dorado?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. You guys can just select kind of an out-of-the-way spot in their big parking lot there. I think that's a place where there's always people around. So
Yeah.
court's comfortable with that, and if you'll include that in the order, Ms. Farr.
Yes.
Remember, I'll expect the first exchange to take place at noon tomorrow.
And I have extra documents about Landon's condition that I will give them tomorrow as well.
It's a good idea. They should be totally aware of this situation.
I've been prepared, and I'm willing to give. Like I said, I've been writing down notes about every visit. So,
okay, Adam, if your child has any problems, you're part of the solution.
Yes.
So I hope that you cooperate in every way with medical professionals, recommendations as to what's best for him, and work with him.
And can Adam please stop slandering me on Facebook as well?
You don't need to be talking about her at all on Facebook, Adam.
Okay.
So knock it
I have
on.
a lot of him. Yeah, somebody sent me a lot of information.
Both ways, Jennifer.
I'm. Yes, sir.
Social media can be a great benefit, but it's also a great evil the way it's misused by people.
I
so
agree.
let's just be civil with each other.
I'm still in therapy, so that's the plus thing to do. So I see her twice a week, about every 2 weeks. I see her, so I still go to therapy every other day. So
continue to work on yourself.
Yep,
and work with your son and his needs. All right, Ms. Farr, if you'll draft an order stemming from today's proceedings and get that to me as soon as you can.
Will do. Thank you.
All right. We need to go ahead and set another date.
Yeah.
We'll do that. Mandy, can you suggest something in June?
We could use June 13th at
I'm
10.
open.
I'm sorry, what time?
10.
10 o'clock a.m., June 13th?
That
Yeah,
works.
that works.
Very well. We will set another Zoom hearing for June 13, 10 o'clock a.m. I'll expect you that if you're going to get counsel, That counsel will be on board and be prepared to present a case to the court at that time. We'll review the situation and the court will make further orders at that time as appropriate. June 13, 10 o'clock by Zoom.
I have it down, sir.
Ms. Farr, anything else at this time?
No, Your Honor, I think we have everything.
All right, good luck with your exchanges at the Dillon's parking lot starting at noon tomorrow until 5. Make sure he's back on time, Adam.
Yes.
Each and every time. Tuesday, Thursdays, and Saturdays until further order of the court.
Okay, thank you.
Thank
Very
you.
well. There's nothing further then. This matter will currently be in recess. This meeting may be ended for all this time.
Sometime when someone is sick, for example, the dad just had a surgery, he's going through a lot too, but he has to still to do his parenting, because as a dad, that's your responsibility, right? You are willing to help your kid on any kind of situations. Like the mom also, she's going through a lot because she's living with the kids, right? The kids might need special care because they have to go to the hospital. Maybe he or the kid has epilepsy and stuff like that. So the mother has to be there, and she's going through a lot, and it's just a mess situation. But I think the judge did a good decision there, to give the dad access, because it looks like the mom knew what was going on and she was prepared, because the way it sounds like she knew that her demand's gonna be rejected anyway, right? So that's why she has those documents to give to the dad. But maybe she had bad experience back then. I don't know. Nobody knows exactly because nobody was there. So I think the location where they're gonna be meeting, doing all the exchange with the kids and stuff, there is apps, there is a lot of stuff that you guys can do to make it work. Not for you, but for the kids, right? Because there's a victim. Like the video, subscribe, leave your thought down in the comment section, and I will see you in the next video.